Hello there guys, it's Stephen here back with another video, and it's the big one before the derby. Manchester City play Manchester United at the Etihad. I'm incredibly excited for the game. I can't wait for it. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun because Solskjaer's added some a little bit of spark to it with his comments. But we'll get into that in a bit. For now, I want to say thank you as ever to OneFootball, continuing to sponsor this channel, continuing to be absolutely awesome. It's a wonderful app with loads of Manchester City news. It's where I got my Manchester City news from today as the press conferences went live. I saw the quotes filtering through from Gabriel Jesus, about Gabriel Jesus from Guardiola, about Solskjaer, about the derby, all that usual stuff. So make sure you go and download it in the link in the description below. It's free, it's excellent, it's awesome. What more do you possibly want? Go and download it in the link in the description below. It's class, I promise you. But today, it's the day before the big one. Now, this only comes around once a year, derby, the Etihad. Well, actually, I guess it can come around more than that. I guess in theory, if we play it, never mind. Cup competitions are irrelevant. But this is a big game, basically. I know our fortunes are a little bit different these days. United have dropped off some way, and I do take great pleasure in that as a Manchester City fan, of course. But in general, this is still a very big game. It's the game that we all look for in the calendar. It's the game that when I see the fixtures, I'm like, right, where's the home game against United? And I'm looking forward to it because I can't wait to see a little bit of intensity. I want that. I want a big game for the players. I want them to really step up here, and I want them to really perform, and I want the bragging rights again. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy playing Manchester United. I do enjoy watching us be better than them, and I never get bored of that. I grew up being bullied at school as a kid. I'm 34 years old. I'm old enough to remember it being terrible for supporting Manchester City. I remember getting bullied for wearing a blue shirt. So I know it's part of growing up and all that kind of stuff, but I would never not take great pleasure in seeing the shoe on the other foot. I know they're not quite as bad as we once were, but I still quite enjoy them suffering and us showing our superiority in these games. That's why this game means a lot and continue to mean a lot, even if they aren't title challenges these days. I'm sure they'll be back one day, but for now they're not even close to that level. So I want this game to mean loads to the players. I want this game to be a chance to really put down a statement, really show them who the kings are and who the big boys in town are, and that is us. I want them to do that because it's fun. It's exciting. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. It's a derby, and it's always good. The crowd's always absolutely going for it. The atmosphere is rocking, and I want us to be the pride of Manchester because I know that we are. So this is a big game, basically. It's a big game for both teams as well, especially given our form. Especially given the fact that we just played well against Burnley. We need to really kind of step up after that. In general, Guardiola was in decent form in the press conference. He talked a lot about the players. He talked a lot about Gabriel Jesus in particular, who's obviously going to be leading the line tomorrow. He said he has to be himself. We need his goals. That's why we could win the last game. He has the idea in his mind that he can score every game. The confidence has to be there all the time. All good athletes have that strong mentality. And he's right. Gabriel Jesus was fantastic against Burnley. A little bit more self-belief, and he could be something quite special. He's definitely got the ability to be anyway, put it that way. He was asked about Arteta for the 10 billionth time. He said there's been no approach for Arteta from any Premier League club and that he would like him to stay. Obviously, that's true. He does want him to stay, clearly. I would not be surprised, though, if the likes of Everton and Arsenal are currently sniffing around Arteta big time. There are rumours that, unless I saw this from Sam Lee today, that apparently Arteta could stay because he feels like he's got unfinished business here, and he'll be involved in coaching, actually, and leading some of the cup games next season, which is weird. Like, giving a coach, you taking control of the cup games. It's almost like promoting a youth team player, but that's a strange concept, but I would not be surprised in the slightest. So it's interesting, that one. In general, though, he talks a lot about the game, what it means to the fans, and all the usual stuff. In terms of the team news, Pep did confirm there's no more injuries, which is nice to hear, isn't it? Because usually in these circumstances, we go, so-and-so's got a knock, so-and-so's got a knock, we don't know how long he's going to be out for, blah, 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 blah. Everything is awful. But this time, thankfully, there's none of that kind of stuff. Zinchenko is back in training, which is also the good news there. I don't think he's going to be fit, and I think Guardiola did indicate that he's probably not going to have the match fitness to be available for this game, which is to be expected. I don't really want to rush him back in a game like this, but it's good to have him back around the squad in general. He'll be a good asset going forward, a very likeable member of the team, and good to have him back. We need the numbers, especially during the winter months, don't we? Other than that, like Gunnar, when he's back, obviously, of course, after his match suspension, you know, he's back in the team, back in the squad, another good player there for the squad in general. Then we've still got the long-term injuries, obviously, with Sane and Laporte and all that stuff. But yeah, in terms of the actual 11, I said the other day in my 5 things learned from the Burnley game video that I don't want to see many changes because what we did the other night was dead good. It was really good. And sometimes when it ain't broke, you don't try to fix it. Sometimes the obvious solution does stare you in the face, as I said the other night. And the solution for this game, to me, seems to be carry on just as we were. I don't want want to see change for the sake of change. Too many players the other day played pretty well, and I don't want to see any more changes. So bearing that in mind, I'm expecting 10 changes. No, of course. I want to see Ederson in goal. I want to see Kyle Walker play it right back. I know a lot of people say Cancelo, but for me, it's a derby. Walker has that kind of pace to get him behind. Bear in mind as well that United's tactics is going to be feed James and feed Rashford, and Walker does have the pace to get back there. So I want him there defending against them, because that's something they'll look to exploit. And Walker's very good defensively, better than Cancelo defensively anyway. I think they should just be Otamendi and Fernandinho because they're good the other night, but I think it'll be Stones and Fernandinho alongside each other. At left back, maybe Mendy will come in. Personally, I would persevere with Angelino. He looks a lot more nimble, a lot more sharp, a lot more match fit these days. Mendy can see coming back in, but I would go for Angelino, so I'm going to put him in this 11. And Angelino had a good game against Burnley. It wasn't an outstanding game by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a good game. It was solid, and what I'd give at the moment what I would give before the Burnley game for a solid left back performance, and we got that, so don't change it in my humble opinion. Into midfield and up front, don't change anything. It's probably going to change something because Gunnar always finds the way to come back in, but I'm going to hopefully presume that he does the sensible thing and doesn't change anything. Rodri just simply has to start this game, especially considering how good he was against Burnley, especially considering the fact that he's up against, a little bit of strength in someone like McTominay who'll fancy the battle physically, but Rodri was fantastic. He looked like he's got He looks like he's ready for this kind of game. Don't forget, he played Atletico Madrid beforehand, a team that loves derbies and loves those kind of big, nasty games. And Rodri's the kind of guy that I want in the trenches with me in a battle. Gundogan isn't that kind of person. I know Gundogan can score against United, he's done it before, but for me, it's got to be Rodri here. And then David Silva always turns up against Manchester United, so it has to be him. It simply has to be him alongside Kevin De Bruyne, who is obviously a big game player as well. Further forward, Bernardo had his best game in absolutely ages against Burnley, so he's got to play this. He has to continue. No slight on Mahrez. Mahrez is obviously fantastic and scored some good goals recently, but I feel like Bernardo's form, also Bernardo is good in these kind of games as well, so it has to be Bernardo for me, with Sterling obviously going to play on the left there, and Gabriel Jesus, the man through the middle as our striker, because he's the only guy available at the moment. I know, so it's kind of an obvious team, but that's the kind of team I can see going, us lining up with. Maybe we'll see Gundogan come in, maybe we'll see Otamendi, maybe we'll see Mendy, I don't know, but I wouldn't do that personally. On to United, they had a huge victory the other day, of course, absolutely massive win against Spurs. Do you know what? They were good, and they deserved it there. I've said it out loud. Fair play to them. Solskjaer's got a bit cocky, since then he's saying things that he definitely would not have been saying if he hadn't got a good result against Spurs. He was saying like, oh, it's just good that we play him every week now, because when I was playing, we didn't play him every week because, bless him. Basically, he's just mocking City that we were crap. Yes, we know we were, but that's the past. The future is ours now, old man. United are feeling confident ahead of this game, and understandably, it was a big result for them, huge result for them, in fact, against Spurs, especially for Solskjaer against Mourinho. That would have meant a lot to him. We saw some very good performances. Rashford in particular is absolutely on fire at the moment, and yeah, do you know what? Rashford is very good. He's got the pace, he's got the strength, he's got the confidence, and he has scored in derbies before. He's someone you're going to have to be careful about, because they will try and feed it into the channels behind the full-backs, because they're very good at doing that, and teams have had success against us doing that this season. So I do fear that in general. Rashford great form. The pace of Rashford and James in general will cause us some trouble. Fred found a bit of form the other day. McTominay is in very good form for them as well in general. He's been their probably best player this season, McTominay, alongside Rashford. He's a decent player. But in general, they can be got at, and we will get at them. If we play like we did against Burnley, we should be fine. I mean, even though United played well against Spurs, this was still, they've not won a consecutive league game since March. That's how long it has been for United. So that shows the level that they're currently at. They are in 6th, weirdly, but it's so compact, that middle of the table, that they could easily be in 12th with a few bad result, basically. No Pogba for them. Some people have doubts. Apparently, like Martial, was he a bit of a doubt? Maybe either way, like Bailey, Dalot, Matic, Rojo, all not available. Basically, they'll probably go for like Lindelof, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. Maybe they'll play Young or at left back again. Maybe, who knows? How did they play against Spurs? They lined up. Yeah, they'll probably play Young, I reckon. They'll probably play similar to what they played against Spurs, where they played Mason Greenwood with Lingard, and they'll probably go for that whole thing where they play United fans like Lingard and Rashford or whatever. They'll probably do something very similar to that. On to the prediction bit. I'm feeling confident. We've got to feel confident, really. I mean, I wasn't confident up until that Burnley game, especially then, considering United played well the other day. But yeah, the Burnley game reignited my confidence in this Manchester City team at the moment. We are a better team than them. That's not a wild opinion. It's something that we all feel pretty confident about. And even most United fans, well, the same ones at very least, would admit we should be beating this team. We should be beating them if we turn up. And given we're at home, given that United will sit and probably defend and probably go quite defensive against us, we should look to control this game. We should look to really, really stamp our authority on this team. It's not going to be easy, though. I've got a feeling this is going to be a little bit of a battle. We're not at our very best at the moment. United they've got the boost they needed just before this game. And I suspect they'll rise to the occasion a little bit. Solskjaer probably is a bit of a nostalgia merchant in general, but that's maybe the kind of thing you need for a derby. So I do suspect he'll get him going in general for this one. And they've got a couple of young lads who'll probably love to get involved on the score sheet in a game like this. Having said that, I'm still pretty confident in general. I can see City winning this. I'm going to go for my usual 3-1 prediction. I reckon United will score, and it probably will be Rashford. It'll probably be a penalty or something like that. I think we'll go 2-1 up and then get a late third as United chase the game. But we'll be largely comfortable. One of those things where it feels quite tight overall, but it's obviously a goal in it, so we're a little bit nervous until we get the third goal, and we see in general that we were the better team throughout the game. I'm hoping it unplays. I hope it goes out that way, basically. All I know tomorrow is the atmosphere is going to be rocking, and I can't wait for it. Guys, let me know what you make of the game tomorrow, how you're feeling ahead of it. It's a derby. I mean, it feels like it's come out of nowhere, and normally, years gone by, I would have been so tense and anxious for weeks, but I barely even noticed. The football has changed. We're so busy, and this game is a strange one for us now, but I'm feeling confident. Let me know what you make of the game in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and I'll see you soon tomorrow. Ugh.